What's up, everyone? This is the Shadow Sage, and I'm coming to you with a brand new series, and it's What If Naruto Went Rogue? And I really had fun writing this series, and I hope you all have fun listening to it. So, without further ado, I'll tell you the like goal. And since I like writing it so much, I'm gonna just say it's 5, because you guys always hit 5. And if the video hits 9 likes, I'll remove like goals from the entire series. You get the entire, like, guaranteed series. Without any further ado, remember to like, share, subscribe, all that great stuff for the YouTube algorithm. And now let's get into the video. First of all, we have to establish when and why Naruto is going to go rogue. And in a filler episode, it was like a flashback before Iruko was like all nice to Naruto and Naruto was still alone. Naruto had quit the academy in this episode, and it was like a mini arc. So he quit the academy, and he's just casually like roaming around the village with like nothing to do because he's obviously not in the academy. And that's when a bunch of villagers will start like yelling at him, calling him a demon, and all the usual. And then the crowd starts to grow, and it goes from like yelling to throwing things at him, like rocks, food, stuff like that. And then they'll start to get violent. And I have to mention, the villagers are harsher than they were in canon. Like they hate him even more than they would. So sometimes they get violent, and this time it gets really, really violent. And as he's being beaten by all the villagers, they're ganging up on him, he hears all of them taunting him like, "Get out of the village, you demon. We don't want you here," and things along those lines. But as he's hearing these things, he hears the voice of one timid girl that he recognizes. And that girl is Hinata Hyuga, the only person ever who was nice to him at this point, because obviously Iruko was not nice to him at this point. And he'll hear Hinata standing up for him like, "Please stop it," and stuff like that. Don't hurt Naruto-kun. But really, the villagers aren't going to listen to her. They're not going to listen to, like, some little girl. And, like, after the villagers beat him up, they all, like, leave him alone. Like, they just leave him there on the ground in the alley. I'm just going to assume it happened in an alley. So he just lies there really limp for, like, a few hours. And then slowly his pain starts to numb and it turns to soreness. And he then drags himself back to his apartment, which luckily was very close by, so he didn't have to travel very far with all his injuries. And it's evening at this point, so like, the words that he heard and the beating that he took, that changed Naruto. Like, mentally, like, something clicked inside of his head. And this is not the same Naruto that we all came to know and love. So when Naruto gets back to his apartment, he's going to tend to his injuries, like, apply bandages, take some painkillers. I don't know what he has. But yeah, he'll apply all, like, this medicine. And then he's going to have one last big meal and pack his bags. Because all the things that he heard from the villagers, all the taunting, like, "We don't want you here, demon, leave," those things resonated with him. And he's going to pack his bag and he's going to leave. He realizes that the Leaf Village is not for him, it's not his real home, and that he should find a real home. And as the sun sets and no moon rises due to it being a new moon, Naruto sneaks out in the darkness of the night and sneaks to the northern gates of the Leaf Village, which was stated to be the only way out of the village when Sasuke was leaving the village. And Naruto turns around with a single tear in his eye, kind of like how Itachi was when he killed his clan. I'll put a picture up on the screen right now. So he'll turn around, he'll cry, because obviously, like, this is his home. He's leaving his home, but he lifts up one arm and wipes the tear from his face, and he vows 3 things on that night. That this would be the last time he cries, and erase all of his emotions, kind of like how a Foundation member or, like, a Root member in the manga would act, kind of like how Danzo's training, kind of like Versailles, if you guys know what I mean. And his second promise, or vow, is to become strong, because he comes to the philosophy that only the strong will survive in this world, because he saw himself as weak at this point and how he kept getting ganged up by the villagers, so that will forge his new mentality. And the third vow was that he would come back to the Hidden Leaf and take revenge on all the people that caused all of his suffering in the past 8 or 9 years. So Naruto's still pretty young at this point. I would say he's 8 years old, because in that filler episode, he was around like 6 or 7, but I don't think Naruto would even like survive a day out there, so I'll boost his age a little bit to 8 years old. Next day, Naruto wakes up covered in dirt, realizing that he passed out in the forest. His decisions of the previous night come flooding back to him as his stomach rumbles loudly. He reaches into his pack and pulls out a box of instant ramen, and he realizes, damn, this is useless to me now because he can't cook it. And this is like when the true gravity of his undertaking dawns on him. He then decides to try and hunt down food, but his attempts are futile, and after days of being unable to find food, Naruto crosses paths with an old man who takes pity on him, and he feeds Naruto and decides to teach Naruto how to hunt and cook the meat that he gathers. And Naruto thanks the old man after a few days of training with him, and after Naruto learns how to, like, basically survive due to the training with this man, he decides, now I need to start training as a ninja, because he needs to become strong. So every day he hunts and gathers, because that will build up his like stamina and his physical strength, along with doing like pull-ups on tree bars and push-ups and stuff like that. So he's basically boosting his physicality so much. Like this is the main thing that he's focusing on: push-ups, sit-ups, crunches, all of that great stuff. He's trying to become like the next Mr. Olympia. But then he'll practice his chakra control and his like meditation. So he will meditate a lot. His potential for jutsu becomes like exponential, but he doesn't have anyone to teach him jutsu, so he won't learn any new jutsu. He'll just become very good at controlling his chakra. So when he starts to learn jutsu, he'll become very good at it, if that makes any sense. So by the way, guys, it's like really pouring outside right now, so I don't know if you guys can hear like the rain pouring, but I'm sorry if you can. This is out of my control. And along with his other buffs that he received to his ninjutsu and his physicality, he'll also get like buffs for his senses, and like his primal instincts will go up a lot. Like he's living like an animal, to be honest. So his like sense of smell goes up, his hearing goes up, his sense of sight goes up. He'll also become a lot smarter and more resourceful compared to how his canon self was, because he's obviously like becoming resourceful to survive. And his already lacking social skills go down, but new personality isn't even like a social personality. He becomes like a super introvert in this new canon timeline. Like he's kind of like L from Death Note in this timeline. He like always prefers to work alone and is kind of like super socially awkward because he doesn't go out and like be social a lot. If you like have watched Death Note, you know what I mean. And now back in the Leaf Village, when Naruto quit the academy, no one like even noticed for like an entire week. So Naruto leaves the village, no one's gonna notice for like a week, and then when they finally do, it's been like a week and a half, and when they find out, all the elders and Jonin are gonna be shitting themselves. They're like, Jesus Christ, our biggest military asset is gone. And they're going to be freaking out. They're going to try to assemble a group of Anbu to go out and find Naruto. But Naruto's already long gone at this point. It's been like 10 days or more at this point. And now back to Naruto. Naruto's like training, eating, walking, doing all of his normal stuff. And he's just walking in the direction from like where he left the village, which is northward, because he went through the north gate. But he's not going like straight north. He's taking detours. He's exploring, like training, going on different kinds of paths, the usual thing that kids do in the woods, I guess. But when Naruto is walking, he realizes, dang, I have no destination. I have no clue where I'm going. I don't have a map. I don't have anything. Where am I going to head up? But after a while of thinking, he decides he'll just go wherever the wind takes him, which is an analogy. If you don't know what that means, it's an analogy meaning I'll just go wherever I end up. Like, if I end up in the Cloud Village, I'll go to the Cloud Village. If I end up in the Sand Village, I'll go to the Sand Village. And Naruto doesn't know this, but we as, like, the viewers know this at this point. Since Naruto is headed north, the only way he has to go is to the Cloud Village. So eventually he'll end up in the Cloud Village. Naruto won't get there for a while, because he's not even, like, going in a straight line. He's walking slowly, training a lot. He only walks for, like, a few hours a day, and trains for the rest of the day. And, like, I did the pixel measurements on this, on the map for this what if. Like, I'm kind of dedicated to this what if, because I just enjoyed doing it so much. It was stated in, Naruto, if you go top speed, no rest, to the Sand Village, it will take 2 to 3 days. So I'll say that's about a week if you're walking and taking normal rest. So I did the pixel measurements, and the Cloud Village is about twice the distance from Konoha that Konoha to the Sand Village. And I'll estimate, like, since Naruto isn't going on a beeline to the Cloud, he's doing his own thing, I'll estimate it takes him about 2 months to get to the Cloud Village. I'd say that's fair. Maybe a little on the longer side, but I wanted to give Naruto enough time to grow and, like, develop as a character. So that's why I'm choosing 2 months. I think in reality it would be about 1.5 months, but I wanted to push. After Naruto's 2 months of vigorous travel through harsh forests, he will stumble upon the gates of the Cloud Village, where the barrier team, I'm assuming they have a barrier team, the way the Leaf Village had a barrier team, so their barrier team will sense a massive chakra coming through their gates. And remember, Naruto's chakra is massive. Like, he's an Uzumaki, and it will say that even as a child, Naruto had twice as much chakra as Kakashi, so that's why I'm saying they were able to detect him. And basically, they're like, holy crap, this is a massive shocker coming to us. Someone go check it out. They'll send like about 2 Chunin Cloud Ninja to the gates, and they go there expecting to see like some kind of like Jonin, only to find a little kid with a scar on his neck, which Naruto got during his travels, and tattered clothes, and the clothes barely fit him at all. They're probably a size too small at this point because Naruto had a growth spurt because he's eating straight protein, straight meat, and he's doing a lot of physical activity and training. So he got buffer and got taller. So his clothes barely fit him, and they're tattered as well. So Naruto's appearance is a lot different in this timeline as well as the scar on his neck, which I would say kind of look like Bonds from Seven Deadly Sins if you watch that show. So the Cloud Ninja will approach him cautiously because they're not sure like what's up with this kid because like he doesn't look like a normal kid. Like his face and his eyes don't have the same innocence that a child normally does because like Naruto's been face to face with death because like he's had to like fight bandits during his journeys and like he's had to fight large animals like bears and stuff like that. I don't know what other kind of animals they have in the Naruto universe, but yeah, he'd have to fight like lots of dangerous things while being in the wild, and he's killed animals, and he has even killed like a few of the bandits because he had to survive. They would kill him if he didn't kill them. So his innocence is gone. He gives off the aura of like a warrior at this point, a hardened man. This even adds to like the personality that I've stated earlier. Like he's like not feeling much emotion. He's very hardened on the inside. His hardened his heart, and he's like trying to suppress his inner emotion. And it would be safe to say that Naruto is kind of emo, like Sasuke. Their personalities coincide a lot. Like, well, they both call themselves an Avenger. Well, Naruto doesn't call himself an Avenger, but he thinks so on the inside. And they both only care about, like, strength. Because obviously Sasuke only cared about his own strength, and so does Naruto in this timeline. And, like, I'm really trying to go out of my way to emphasize that Naruto's personality is really, really different in this timeline. I cannot emphasize that enough. But, afterwards, the 2 Chunin would take Naruto to the Raikage, because they don't really know what to do. And the Raikage will have the same first impressions that the 2 Chunin had. And then when A really starts to focus in, he will see an uncanny resemblance between Naruto and the only man who ever outsped him on the battlefield. And so he will ask Naruto his name, and Naruto says Naruto Uzumaki. And this basically confirms his suspicions because he knew that Minato married an Uzumaki, and that now this boy looks like Minato and has the surname of an Uzumaki. So it's basically confirmed that he is the son of Minato. And this will really pique the Raikage's interest. Like, he can see Naruto as a potential asset. And now, he is also suspecting that Naruto could be the Jinchuriki, but he isn't completely 100% sure. So he asks Naruto to tell him his story and why he came here to the Cloud Village. So then Naruto would go on to tell the Raikage about how he was ostracized as a child and beat up by the villagers, and this will basically confirm the Raikage's suspicions, because why else would the villagers hate Naruto? Like, his little brother went through the same kinds of treatment, so he'll know this is how a Jinchuriki is treated. And he will like have a smile on his face, knowing that this could really be big for the the Cloud Village. This could be a very big asset for the Cloud Village, and they can have like a one-up over the Leaf Village, because they had lost their only Jinchuriki now, and now it's in their possession, and they have 3 whole Jinchurikis, which is like a lot. And A doesn't really want to like abuse Naruto or like take advantage of him, because like his brother is a Jinchuriki, and he has like sympathy for Jinchurikis. Like, he doesn't treat Yugito with like abuse, and neither his brother, so he will treat Naruto with respect out of like respect for his brother. And B is there in the room with him, so he has lots of like sympathy for Naruto, and he's thinking to himself, wow, would I have turned out like Naruto if I didn't have my brother with me and all the support from like my other friends and stuff? So he really develops a deep like sympathy for Naruto. And then the Raikage will ask Naruto if he knows the truth, and Naruto will be like, huh, what truth? And then the Raikage will tell Naruto that he is the son of Kushina Uzumaki, the former Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, and that he is the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. And this will shock Naruto a lot. Like, Naruto tries to suppress his emotions and all of that, but Naruto cannot hide his shock, because this is, like, big things. Like, he never knew his mother, he knows his mother's identity, and that he's a Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. But the Raikage will leave out that Minato is his father, because he's afraid that if he tells Naruto about Minato, that might, like, make him side with the Leaf Village again. But, In truth, it really wouldn't, but the Raikage can't risk it. He doesn't want Naruto going back to the Leaf Village. Like, in all reality, Naruto would hate the Leaf Village even more if he found out the truth about his father, because he would feel betrayed by Hiruzen if he never was told. But still, right, the Raikage doesn't want to risk it. So then the Raikage will ask Naruto two things. What his, like, goals are, and if he wants to stay in the Cloud Village. And Naruto will tell his two of his goals, not his, third goal, which was about, like, suppressing his emotions, because he just want to tell them that. He'll tell A that his first goal is to become strong, because he doesn't ever want to be weak again, and that he wants to destroy the Leaf Village. And this will kind of, like, make A happy, like, he'll, like, use Naruto's hate, and they could use it as an attempt to, like, maybe destroy the Leaf Village, because that'll help him and Naruto. And then Naruto will obviously say yes to staying in the Cloud Village, and they will, like, give him citizenship, but they will neglect to tell the general, like, public about Naruto being a Jinchuriki and, like, much about his past, because they don't want, like, the villagers to hate Naruto in this village and then, like, make him leave again. So yeah, that's, like, they should not tell the public, because then Naruto will probably leave again, so their fears are probably, like, well-founded and well-just. I hope you'll enjoy the video as much as I enjoyed making it and enjoy making this entire series. And remember to drop a like for, like, I'm putting a lot of dedication to this, and remember to hit the like goal of 5 likes and possibly even the like goal of 9 likes to make this entire series free. Because, I mean, I would enjoy that, and I hope you guys would enjoy that. And remember to stay safe and have a great day. This is Shadow Sage signing off.